Hey guys, Ezra here and welcome back to another review. And on today's review, I want to talk about F1 the movie. Now, this is a movie directed by Joseph Kosinski and star Brad Pitt as a racer named Sonny Hayes. Now, this is an original movie, and I think it was an original concept by Joseph Kosinski that I think some people might found this movie a bit similar to Days of Thunder, which I haven't watched that, but Days of Thunder is essentially like Top Gun, but in cars essentially, and that movie also stars Tom Cruise and directed by Tony Scott. The same team as Top Gun, the first movie, and it's kind of ironic that this movie could be like the sequel to Days of Thunder. I guess some people might feel that way, and it was made by the same team as Top Gun Maverick. You got Joseph Kosinski, you got the screenplay by Aaron Kruger, the cinematography by Claudio Miranda, the music by Hans Zimmer. So like it has some key elements. So like I guess like the team member from Top Gun Maverick directing this movie, and yeah, this movie feels like kind of feels like Top Gun in a way, and it's not exactly a criticism in my opinion, because I think this movie feels very just like Top Gun Maverick, feels very visual, and then you actually feel like you are inside the cars, in the racing cars, and you're actually really rooting for the characters. And this might be the one of the best summer movies. And yeah, let's talk about the positive aspect, shall we? The most obvious one that I want to get out is actually the way Joseph Kosinski shot this movie, especially when there is a racing sequence. Like, it was absolutely amazing. It was like you feel the adrenaline and you feel the engine. You feel like the I guess like the wind, because like it was so fast and it was so visual, and you kind of feel like some of the impact that some of the cars felt in the movie. And there is a moment where you're actually really rooting for the characters, because besides all the great directing, I gotta say the characters played by Brad Pitt and all the other actors as well. So like Sonny Hayes and then Joshua Pierce, which is like the younger rookie racer played by Damsonidris. I think their chemistry is absolutely amazing. You have new characters like Kate McKenna, played by Carrie Condon, and then Ruben, played by Javier Bardem. Like, all of them gave an incredible performance, and I think the storyline, maybe the storyline might feel a bit familiar to, again, the first Top Gun movie, but even then, I still think it really really works, because there is some like unique elements here, because like our main character Sonny Hayes, played by Brad Pitt, is actually like a veteran racer, but it's not exactly like a winner, like he's actually failed to be a racer back in 1990s, because he messed up, and he's sort of losing his passion for racing, and then he's trying to regain that passion again, and that's essentially becoming the main plot point for the movie itself. And I do think the story is really touching, because I was actually really rooting for Sonic characters to actually win the race. Same thing with like the younger racers, like Joshua, and then all the side characters as well. I think they all have their own moments, which I absolutely love. And of course the racing sequence is absolutely amazing. I talked about this before, and it's just essentially like the best part about watching this movie in theaters, is actually to experiencing the racing in the big screen with like the Dolby Atmos, sound design, and like speakers. I absolutely love that. I feel so intense every single time there is a racing here. And besides that, I also want to praise the score by the great Hans Zimmer. I mean, it's Hans Zimmer, so it's gonna be great. But my God, guys, when there is a racing sequence and then you mix that with Hans Zimmer's score, it was really, really exciting. I feel so pumped to root for the main characters and for them to win the race. Like, I absolutely like having a fun time, like remembering the race, and then mixed with the score in the background. Like, it was so exciting to see that happen. And it really elevates the scenes and the race itself. So I mean, it's Hans Zimmer, so it's not surprising, but still, man, it's great. I absolutely love that. And yeah, I absolutely love how the combination between the drama of the characters and the racing sequence. And I do think this movie has a really really good storyline that people can actually care about the main characters, you know, and you can actually appreciate the editing style as well, because they put some cameras in the racing cars, you know, and then like you're gonna see like the sometimes like the first person perspective when they are racing. It was absolutely amazing. The score by Hans Zimmer is absolutely fantastic, and yeah, overall I do think this is like the big blockbuster summer movies, you know, because I think in July it's gonna be packed with three movies. You know, we got Jurassic World Rebirth. It's about to be released like 2 days from now, and then you have Superman, and then you have the Fantastic Four movies. You know, so we still have three, I guess, like, you know, summer movies releasing in July. But I do think F1 is gonna be the movie that people might remember, you know, because again, I think most people will enjoy the movie, especially if I don't know if you're like a big fan of, like, you know, F1 or like an actual, you know, racing background. You know, I have no idea how you guys will felt about the movie, because again, I'm not exactly a racing fan. I'm just watching this because I think it has Brad Pitt and it was directed by Joseph Kosinski. You know, so I'm like, okay, you know what? I will watch this because the review has been super super great, you know. So, and yeah, coming up from the movie, I absolutely loved it, you know. But I heard that if you are part of the racing community, that you might have like a mixed opinion on the movie, you know. So if you guys are a big fan of racing, then maybe you can share your opinions, you know, in the comment section. Maybe you have like a different take of the movie, you know. Maybe there is some sequence or like events in the movie that wasn't exactly super accurate to the real life racing. Maybe, I don't know, because this movie has like several of the racing legends, I guess, you know, like a real racers making a cameo in this movie. One of them is Lewis Hamilton, that he does make a cameo in this movie. So there's that. But yeah, I'm really curious to see why some people might didn't like the movie, you know, because so far that the review that I seen has been really positive, but apparently the review from the racing community was actually a bit mixed, you know. Which again, I have no idea why that is, and if you guys know why that is, then you guys can share your opinion in the comment section below, you know, because I would love to hear a different opinions on this matter, you know. And I guess if I have to criticize the movie, this movie is very long. You know, it was like 2.5 hours movie, you know, 156 minutes, and sometimes I do feel the runtime, you know, maybe there is some parts that they could cut, you know, but at the same time, for the most part, I did enjoy the movie, even though that I kind of feel the runtime, you know, a little bit, you know, by the time you get to the end, you know. But overall, I do think this is a really fantastic movie. This is definitely the summer blockbuster movie, you know. It has a great opening weekend on this in the box office already, you know, so I think this movie could easily reach $1 billion, you know, but I guess we'll see, because there's gonna be three big movies releasing in July, and we'll see if F1 can still maintain in that box office numbers, you know. But overall, really enjoy the movie, you know. So yeah, you know, let me know, guys, in the comment section below, you know, what do you guys think about F1 the movie, and if you guys are actually a big fan of the racing community, then maybe you guys can share your opinion about the movie in the comment section below, because like I said before, some people from the racing community apparently have mixed feelings about the movie. So I don't know anything about that, you know. So like, you guys can feel free to inform me about that in the comment section below, you know. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this review, then make sure to guys, you know, raise that subscribe and like button, and share the video to your stuff, and stay tuned for more movie reviews in the future. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed this movie review, and I will see you guys in the next one then. Bye.